Mm.
And so all we're trying to do is taking this one microbe that nearly everybody has lost, Lactobacillus reuteri, because it's very susceptible to common antibiotics, and we're going to increase its counts by 1,000-fold. And you get bigger effects when you do that. So it's restoring a microbe we've all lost to regain all the huge effects. This microbe is carried by all hunter-gatherer humans unexposed to antibiotics and other things. It's carried by all wild mammals, suggesting it's essential for mammalian health. And we are witnessing some very dramatic effects, both in so there's two ways this works. One is it colonizes the small intestine and kills off fecal microbes that have invaded the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Extremely common, and thereby reduces endotoxemia. And that's how you get effects like reduction of blood pressure and blood sugar and release of fat weight. But the other aspect of this is it takes up residence in the GI tract, sends a signal to your brain to release the hormone oxytocin. People say the hormone of love and empathy. So there is that, yes, increased love, generosity, desire for human companionship. But there's also, uh, I call oxytocin the hormone of shape and body composition because it has magnificent effects on how much muscle you have, where fat is deposited, your appetite. So this combination, it's the first microbe I started playing with, Deb. We've since have been playing with lots of other microbes. But by sheer luck, we picked the one that's probably the most important with the greatest biological effects for those of us who cultivate it as yogurt.
Mhm.
You can take it as a probiotic, but you're going to get low numbers. You will get benefits. And so I also, by the way, came out with a product called My Reuteri to give people higher counts than the original infant formula
Mm.
of a strain that I believe mimics all these effects also in mice and in humans.
And so basically, if you've ever been on an antibiotic, we should be doing L-reuteri in some form or another based on your research.
Well, one of the uncertainties is can you lose reuteri even if you never took an antibiotic? Probably. So
Mm.
there's some evidence to that effect. So what is it? Is it glyphosate? Is it
Mhm.
preservatives and emulsifying agents in ice cream and other processed foods? Is it chlorinated drinking water? In other words, it's not quite clear how and why all this happened. I mean, antibiotics, absolutely, but there's probably other factors too. So
Mm.
it's not entirely clear, but such that if we were to assess the microbiomes of, say, 1,000 people, only a handful will have Reuteri anymore. So nearly everybody's lost this microbe. So it's a pretty good bet. If you're a human, if you drink water and you breathe air, you probably don't have Reuteri.
Mhm. Yeah, and I know you've done a lot of studies. You mentioned originally there are rats, and we're not 100% similar to rats, rodents. But for human trials, you're doing more and having good success stories with your own clients and your own program, website followers.
Yeah, our first clinical trial was in female in ladies because the ladies were so insistent that we better understand the skin effects. Ladies, they actually said things like this to me. They said, "We don't care about generosity and empathy and muscle. We just want better skin." So I thought, okay, so we did a small clinical trial and we did indeed see fairly significant skin effects, an increase in dermal thickness. But we also saw an unexpected finding. That was a dramatic reduction in waist circumference, abdominal fat. So future trials are going to explore that and quantify it
Mm.
better. So I think what we're witnessing is a shift in what I call shape and body composition. We're getting a restoration of youthful shape and body composition,
Mm.
more muscular contours, not like Arnold Schwarzenegger, not like a bodybuilder, but more like you had when you were 25. We lose muscle as we age, about a third of muscle. And if you ever made the mistake of cutting calories on a diet or a drug, a pharmaceutical, or had a bariatric procedure, those all distort your body shape and compass. And we're seeing this play out now with this GLP-1 agonist experience. So I think we have a way of reversing that process.
Interesting. Before we go into questions, I think right there just talk match what you're speaking of. Women and their hormones. Is there, as we lower estrogen, perimenopause, postmenopause, such a huge topic, is there any correlation with changes in our hormones and how this can help with skin health and weight loss with the
Don't
lower
know.
estrogen?
So there's been, unfortunately, no animal nor human evidence explored yet. I was going to do that in our little skin trial, but our budget ran out. So I did not get a chance to assess, for instance, estradiol or progesterone. I'd like to do that in future as budget permits.
Hmm.
So, because I think there may be some beneficial effects. I think that Reuteri is one of the most important microbes for female reproductive health. So one of the ways the Reuteri works, of course, is the boosted oxytocin. Well, oxytocin is the hormone of breastfeeding.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the thing that lets the little tiny muscles in the breast expel milk. A lot of
Mhm.
mothers can't breastfeed; they struggle with this, and I think one of the reasons likely is loss of Reuteri and thereby oxytocin. Oxytocin is also instrumental in amplifying the maternal-infant bond after birth. So if a mom has postpartum depression, has a hard time caring for her child and bonding, that's a major problem. And that, I believe, is the lack of oxytocin in a woman who's lost Reuteri.
Hmm.
It also plays a role in menopausal health because Reuteri is a major determinant of vaginal health. And so
Mhm.
one of the phenomena of older females is you lose the lining of your vagina becomes very dry, vaginal atrophy and pain, discharge, etc. Well, Reuteri is part of the solution, I
Hmm.
believe, there too. So Reuteri, very important for female health. By the way, uh, it's Reuteri and some other microbes and other strategies have proven to be extremely effective, both reproductive and menopausal health that have nothing to do with pharmaceutical agents.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, another topic to go into. All right, so we can tie that back in again because I think that's a popular topic, but I know we have lots of questions. First one, can related to acne and skin health, if someone's been taking the product in the yogurt form, probiotic yogurt, whatever, what do we want to call it? The super gut yogurt or GERT?
Sure, sure, Deborah, Reuteri yogurt. Yeah.
Reuteri. So they've been taking it for a month, love it, but want to know if they could benefit their daughters, both the two daughters, 18 and age 20. They have celiac disease, struggling with acne. So could their college lifestyle be a factor? And would this probiotic help their skin health?
So this has been debated for years. Is diet important in acne? Sadly, dermatology, the last person you want to ask about diet is a dermatologist. Most, I'm generalizing. But diet is crucial in managing acne. But now I can't tell this listener that Reuteri alone is the solution. Reuteri is part of the solution,
Mhm.
but there's much more someone can do. They can get diet to reduce the blood glucose and insulin provoking effects of foods like wheat, grains, and sugar. That alone is a very powerful start. Addressing nutrient deficiencies that synergize to reduce insulin resistance. Insulin resistance drives acne. It's among the factors that drive acne. And so magnesium, vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids, all the things we do, basic nutrients are lacking in modern life. That matters also. Now, the skin microbiome is a big factor. There's a proliferation of bacterium that causes acne and proliferation of Staphylococcus aureus. Now, how do you deal with that besides using drugs, right? Well, that's a whole conversation. Let me boil it down to getting back to fermented foods and prebiotic fibers. Because what that does, so if you eat sauerkraut or fermented sauerkraut, not the stuff in most stores, kimchi, kefir, veggies you ferment on your kitchen counter, you're getting microbes like Leuconostoc or Weizella. These are species that don't take up residence in your GI tract, but in their passage from mouth to toilet, they cultivate the proliferation of species that produce butyric acid. So-called butyrogenic acids, butyrogenic species. These are species like Akkermansia, Fecalibacterium. So these are cultivated by the passage of fermented foods. They in turn produce butyric acid that goes to your skin and acidifies the skin. Healthy skin is acidic, pH about 4.5. Someone with acne has a pH about 5.5. That difference of 5.5 to 4.5 is a reduction in acidity of 10-fold. So when you get those fermented foods, and even better with those prebiotic fibers, onions, garlic, shallots, leeks, jicama, all those kind of stuff, things, that even further acidifies the skin. And when you acidify the skin, it discourages the acne organism, the propionibacterium, and Staphylococcus aureus, and it favors beneficial bacteria. So that, in a nutshell, is a start to getting control over acne using diet and then microbial solutions.
Mm, good. All right. Next question. How long can someone safely take L-reuteri yogurt? Can it be consumed indefinitely? And then they were talking about postmenopause, experiences with fat malabsorption, creepy skin. Could this probiotic help improve fat digestion, skin quality? So I guess two questions. How long can you take it? And then part two is fat digestion, the skin. So three
Don't
questions.
take it for more than 150 years. In other words, so it's supposed to be part of human life. It's been a part of human life, Deb, for the last millions of years. It's been a part of mammalian life for even longer. So, in fact, I say the loss of reuteri is tantamount to losing an arm. In other words, it cripples your health, your mental health, your social health, your physical health. So it is meant to be part of human life. So you don't have to say stop it at age 50 or no such thing. You want it for a lifetime. But of course, we've all lost it. We know it has effects on skin. There's no question about that. Now, it could help fat malabsorption because the most common cause for fat malabsorption is SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, where fecal microbes have invaded the small intestine, including the duodenum. That's where pancreatic enzymes and bile are released into the GI tract, and they block the action of pancreatic enzymes. So having reuteri take up residence in the duodenum and the rest of the small intestine and produce those bacteriocins that kill those invading fecal microbes, and you could indeed. There's more you can do. So you could see my recipe for SIBO yogurt. That's in my Super Gut book. It's in my blog, WilliamDavisMD.com. And we add gaceri, Lactobacillus gasseri, and optionally Bacillus coagulans or some other microbes to increase these microbes' ability to kill off invading fecal microbes. But the reuteri alone is a huge start.
Hmm. Yeah, I think joining your inner circle is a great way. If people want to learn more and ask a little more detailed questions, it's a great place and safe place to ask questions, and you get a lot of feedback from other people who've been there a while. So this goes with that question as well. After they finish the 4-week program, as in your book, Super Gut, do they need to keep consuming the L-reuteri ongoing, or how long should you cycle it in and out?
Well, if you're doing it for SIBO, you want to take it for a minimum of 4 weeks uh, until you have some sign that it's gone. If you use the AIR device, right, the AIRE, if you
Yeah.
normalize hydrogen gas, that will tell you. If you had a food intolerance, let's say to eggplant or tomatoes, re-expose yourself to a small amount, see if you're now tolerant. If you are, you know you've pretty much gotten rid of your SIBO. Or maybe the fat malabsorption went away, or your disrupted sleep is now much better. Look for some sign that we can associate with your SIBO, and then you know. But I would still continue to get the reuteri and perhaps the other organisms of the SIBO yogurt because SIBO loves to come back. And I know most ladies want to have better skin. You'll get better skin over 4 weeks, but then it'll revert back to normal if you stop it. So, but if you continue it, let's say 3 times a week, you'll continue to get skin benefits, increased thermal collagen, all those increased moisture, as well as the other beneficial effects, restoration of youthful musculature, vaginal moisture, and guys, increased testosterone. So there is value to trying to get this thing. Now, if your mom gave you Lactobacillus reuteri at birth, by your passage through the birth canal or breastfeeding, you would have reuteri for a lifetime.
Mm,
But of course, we got exposed to antibiotics and it killed it. But if we get it from yogurt, it takes up residence for maybe 5 days.
mm,
What? Why? Why? What's the difference? It's probable that's the community of microbes. We yet don't yet know what the community of reuteri should look like. I predict in future we'll say, don't just make reuteri, get reuteri with this half dozen other microbes and do that for, I don't know, a few weeks or so and maybe take some permanent residence. But
yeah.
nobody knows how to do that yet.
So really, you have to keep taking it, or else if it stays in your body for 5 days, and then it goes away again, then we have to repopulate, so it's ongoing.
Or have a
Interesting.
get re-exposed to antibiotics or other
Yeah,
things. You make the
for sure.
awful mistake of eating ice cream, commercial ice cream that has packed with emulsifying agents, or you eat foods with preservatives that are antimicrobial. So any number of things will work against you.
So that goes back to what you're talking about, fermented foods, sauerkraut, the ice cream, you can make your own. I know someone that makes it in the Ninja Creamy thing, and you can make your own without all the junk in it. That might be a healthier ice cream. So you really answered the last part of this question. Does the L. reuteri reach a point when it colonizes the gut and can sustain itself? If so, when does that typically happen? That's what you just said. We don't know yet.
Right.
That'd be interesting. So we have to study the microbiome, see what combination of bacteria would help keep L. reuteri from dying off, basically, after 5 days and
It's like
colonize.
AI, Deb. We're only beginning to learn all these important lessons. I mean, even in the last decade, we've gotten a ton smarter, but there's still so much more to learn, including how to get these microbes to take up permanent residence.